Hey guys, this is week two's roundup. So we had a much closer week this week, mainly because Ollie started setting his lineup, and for a while it looked like Basha started too, but still not sure about that. We're gonna need to have a talk. Basha, if you see this, message me. Um, so as always, I'm just gonna start with my matchup because that's what's listed first for me. So I was up against Matt this week. Um, we ended up tying, which kind of sucks because I should have beat his ass badly, but I could only get one power play point last night, so couldn't quite get the win. Tied 5-5. Uh, Matt had way more people play than me, which is why I didn't blow him out of the water. Um, I kicked his ass on assists, on penalty minutes, squeezed by on shots. That shutout saved me. Thank you, Carey Price. You're awesome. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was a close matchup. I was winning, and then Matt had like 10 players play when I didn't have any. And, uh, and yeah, in the end, we ended up tying, which is pretty cool. Um, I'm not going to rip on him like I did Mike last week because it was legit close. Especially with Roberto Luongo, 0 wins and 4.0 goals against average. Great first goalie pick, Matt. Great pick. Um, Next, I'll move on to Mike versus Cody. Mike. Mike. You know, losing 2 weeks in a row is not going to help you move up in the standings. Granted, it was a very close matchup. Cody just squeezed by. Um, but neither of you really had huge stats in any category except for 117 shots on goal because of Martin St. Louis shooting 23. That's a fuckload. Um, wow, you guys have really good goalies. Really good goalies. At least this week. Lundqvist shot the bed last week, but um, they came through this week. 2 shutouts, Kipper. Damn. So yeah, close matchup. No one really got violated there. Um, and then fucking Basha. Jesus Christ. So Paul versus Basha. Basha was winning 10-0 at one point. It was 9-1 for a while, 10-0. Pretty much Paul was getting reamed out. And now he stole the win. Because on Saturday night, Basha had gaps in his lineup in every position and players playing on his bench. So, Basha, if you paid attention, you had this one in the bag. Way to fucking lose. Um, yeah, Paul just squeaked by on a couple goalie stats. That's crazy. You guys tied for save percentage. And shutouts. Shutouts wasn't that crazy, but save percentage, that's really weird. Um, Stamkos even had a hat trick. So did Alfredson. And still Basha can't pull it off. So disappointing. I thought you knew hockey. Lastly, Sarah against Ollie. Sarah, I mean, Ollie was in last place. You really, I don't know what's wrong with your team. They're just not good. 6-2, the worst loss of the week. Um, you won in shots on goal and plus minus. That's sad. You're close on assists, but that's it. Only tied for wins, I guess. But yeah, you had a lot of people on your team just have awful weeks. But also, I think your team's kind of crappy. Just saying. Um, so overall, this brings us in the standings to, I believe Paul's still our leader. Paul's winning with 29 points. Um, Matt's still in second place with 25 points. I drop and to fourth place. Cody has one more point than me now because he had one tying category this week that I didn't have. Um, Mike's just behind me at a distinct drop to 17 points. He's tied with Ollie. Um, Sarah's down at 14, and Basha has 13 points because he has an awful, awful record. Um, I'll try and talk to Basha this week, guys, and make it so it's not so ridiculous when we play against him. Um, week 3, we've got me against Paul. That should be fun. Finally take down our leader. Mike against Matt. That should be funny too. Even like I don't know, at the rate you've been playing Mike, Matt's clearly gonna beat you, but at least it'll be entertaining because I think there'll be some good smack talk there. Sarah against Basha, the two last place teams facing off against each other. Um, Sarah, you might win one, or Basha will actually set his lineup this week, and then you're gonna drop into last place. It's just a battle for the bottom right there, and then Ollie is against Cody, which I think will be a very interesting matchup. Eng v Eng, two people who've put what seemed like a good amount of thought into their teams. So see how that works out. Anyway, I will catch up with you guys again next week.